How you doing, guys? Welcome to the Drone Zone, and I'm so excited to do this video. I've been having a ton of fun with this little FPV setup on my mini drone, and it's been absolutely incredible. It's been raining outside, so I've just been flying it indoors, going through all the tiny little nooks and crannies in beds and under chairs, through doors. It's been absolutely fantastic, and I really hope this is a good video for you guys, and hopefully something you might want to invest in if you're a beginner to the sport. It's an incredibly cheap FPV setup, and I think you guys will really find it awesome. So let's have a quick look at the different things that I've got set up. So first of all, this here is the Bayang Toys X9 quadcopter, and I did a review of it earlier on my channel, so if you want to see a more in-depth review of that, then go check it out. I've taken the plastic cap off the top, the protecting thing, and I've got the circuit board exposed just to reduce a bit of weight and have the antenna of the camera able to fit on there, because I probably wouldn't have been able to fit on unless I cut out some of the plastic top, so I thought I'd leave it off. This cost me about, I think it was £12 off GearBest, and it's an incredibly good purchase. It's very sporty, very agile, and it's actually got enough power to lift this tiny little camera and the transmitter. So I definitely suggest getting something like this, something tiny that you can attach your camera on. And like I said, this was a very cheap option compared to something like the Tiny Woot, which might set you back about £50, or the real version of this, because this is obviously a clone of the Blade Nano. I think that costs about £40 or £50, maybe even £60 if you get the ready-to-fly version. So this is like a fifth of the price of some of the good ones, and in my opinion it performs just as well. So if we go onto the camera I'm using, this is the Quantum TX camera combo, which includes the camera here, as you can see, and also a little mushroom antenna, which is the transmitter, and it's a fantastic little thing. I'll show you the packaging. Here we go, Quantum Elite, 5.8 gigahertz, and according to the specs it is only 4.5 grams, which is incredibly light, especially for something where you want to do a micro FPV setup like this. It's an incredibly good choice, because it's probably one of the smallest and most lightweight cameras out there. You'll see how I've attached it. I've got a bit of Velcro down here just to attach it to the front, and then I've got this very thin, not even elastic band really, I'm not sure what you'd call it. I think it came off a clothes tag, so it's very lightweight and doesn't really add much to the weight of the quadcopter, and that just keeps it held on a bit more. You'll see I've left all the wires on, and that's just for ease, and for you guys who don't really like soldering or don't really want to have a go at soldering yet, maybe you're not that confident, just to show you that it is possible to do it with all the wires on. The Quantum camera came with this little connector pin here, so you can connect the camera and the battery to the drone and power it all from the same battery. I would definitely suggest cutting this off and soldering it onto the board, probably, because you're going to save in weight and these wires aren't going to get in the way. But if you're not that confident in soldering, it is good enough to lift the wires and the camera all together. You can just add a bit of tape down here and make sure they don't get in the way of the props. So onto the goggles. These are the FPV goggles. They've got a nice mushroom antenna receiver, which actually came with the goggles. You didn't have to purchase that separately. And they've got their built-in receiver in here, which you can see. These change all the channels of the receiver to match the channels on your camera. So it's a pretty stylish, I think, quite nice black, sleek black with this sort of floral black and white pattern on it, which I think is quite a nice touch. You'll see we've got a USB port here, which is really funny. It actually includes a fan, so you can put it on your head and put the fan in, and then pretend you're like flying the drone and getting the air through your hair, which is really funny. It doesn't have a built-in battery, but you can just Velcro this on. It's coming off a little bit. Velcro it onto the bottom, and it's just this tiny little 500 milliamp hour battery, which is very lightweight and doesn't add much. It's not straining your neck or your head when you're wearing it, so it's nice and small. We've also got these like nice, very soft foam padding. I think there's about a centimetre or so there, which is protecting your face and makes it feel very nice and soft when you're wearing it. So it doesn't really hurt. There's nothing digging into you. You've got a nice nose bit cut out here, so everything fits the face quite well. Obviously it's going to be for a generic face, so yours might be a little bit different and might not fit as well, but I found it fits pretty nicely and pretty tightly. Quite snug on your face. You'll see we've got the 3 straps with the nice padded back bit here, and these are all adjustable Velcro, so if you've got a bigger or smaller head you can just maneuver it to your size. We've got 2 Fresnel lenses in here. It's actually split up into the 2 eye holes rather than the one big glass plane, and you can see, well, you might not be able to see, on the inside we have got the monitor, and it claims to be, well, it is a 4.3 inch, but it claims to be 800 by 480 pixels, but I think it might be a tiny bit less than that, but I've not been able to test that out so far. So if we go back to the drone, then we can connect the camera up and see what it looks like through the goggles. Very easy, just put this connector in there, and you'll see we've got the lights on the drone and also the lights on the camera here to say that everything is working. Now if we go to the goggles and connect that up, no on and off switches here, guys, for either thing. Each one is simply plug and play. You'll see that we have the camera there, and there you go, you can see my setup. I've got my Mac there and my phone, and you can also see the FPV goggles in there like that. So it's a very good quality camera. I'll do a more in-depth review of it later, but for just FPV around the house is very good. And like I said, that cost me £30. I think I got it off Hobby RC, and it's a very good camera. These goggles themselves actually cost £35, I think, so they're the most expensive thing, but for £35, these are absolutely fantastic. You can't complain. I mean, they're obviously not going to be as good as the Fat Sharks, but they are very good. They're very lightweight. They weigh about 200 grams, sorry. And yeah, they're very good. I definitely suggest getting them if you're new to the hobby and you don't want to invest that much in Fat Shark goggles, or maybe a more expensive pair. And so this is essentially the setup. We've got the camera, the drone itself, and of course the FPV goggles. All of this cost just over, I think it was £72, and it's a fantastic little setup. You're going to have so much fun out of this. So I'll do a quick video demonstration to show you what it flies like, and that's me. So here I am trying and completely failing to keep the drone in the sight of the camera, but you'll see that it can easily lift the tiny little quantum camera with the wires on there without the need for soldering, and it's easy to fly about. It's very agile still, even with the added weight of the camera on there. So yeah, it's very good. All in all, it's very maneuverable. It's easy to fly around the house if you're using the FPV goggles, and it's a fantastic setup. I definitely suggest it to anyone looking to get into the sport and not wanting to invest, or maybe even as a present for someone or something like that. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to check out the links in the description if you want to purchase any of these, and I'll see you next time.